Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're just going to be looking at the Bad Baby situation. If you don't know what's happening, basically Dr. Phil got called out by Bad Baby, the Catch Me Outside girl, who basically said that the ranch, or whatever it is basically just a terrible place where they do things that they definitely shouldn't be doing.
I was 13 years old when I went to Turnabout Ranch. I feel like it's very important for me to speak on this because I kept my mouth shut for so long. I did touch on it a couple times in different situations, but I really want to get my whole story out there and let everything just be out, because that's the thing with these places is you have no evidence. You don't have a phone there. They don't have cameras there. Like, there's no evidence of none of this. And obviously all the staff is in on it, so they're not going to snitch on each other. All you really have is the kids that are there.
I heard about this, which makes it kind of skeptical if she's lying or not, because there's no proof that she is telling the truth, and there's none that's saying it isn't, because there's only the staff, and the staff could just say no, it wasn't me. And she was 13 at the time, so kids tend to lie, but I don't know yet, so let's look into it.
So a young lady, her name is Hannah, she recently spoke out because while she was there, she was sexually assaulted, and then when she reported that she was assaulted, she was punished by staff. Now, when I seen the punishment she was given, I knew, like, okay, I really have to say something. Like, I really have to have her back on this.
Alright, so this actually gives her a reason to bring it up, because everyone says before that she was just lying and doing it for attention. But now that there's news articles saying that she's suing, that a girl is suing them, and that there's actually stuff happening there, Bad Baby can talk about it because she's got to have the back of the person. So it is a pretty believable story why she'd be standing up now instead of at 13, because no one's going to believe a 13-year-old over adults. It just wouldn't make sense. So let's see what she has to say. And it gives her more credibility that she's bringing it up now instead of like back then, because back then no one's going to believe a 13-year-old or however old she was. And now that she brings it up, it gives her a lot more credibility because she's a lot older. And she's already, like, releasing music, and she's already, like, big, you know what I mean?
There was written rules. If a staff was angry at the moment, or if you just did something that they felt was bad, you would get your own punishment. Like, they would make up their own punishment for you.
Alright, now this would make the situation 10 times worse because of all the information that's already getting out about the ranch and how terrible it is and how there's apparently been a murder there and all the allegations against it. If the staff get to make their own rules and they're mad at the moment, bro, that would be 10 times worse. Like, you could just drop something on the floor and they'd just be like, yeah, go run some laps, buddy. No shower for you like 5 days in a row, bro. That would be terrible. Exactly why I'm not going on Dr. Phil. You ain't catching me slipping.
While I was there, just a lot of crazy things happened. I seen a kid get held down for trying to leave. Just honestly, I don't think he was trying to run away. I think he was just trying to, like, walk out the door and just, like, get some time to himself, and they restrained him. They held him down. They had no problem holding kids down, which is against the law. You're not supposed to touch the kids, but they had no problem doing that. It's just our word against the staff's word when you're there, because there's no witnesses, there's no cameras, you don't have a phone, there's none of that. That's why I was always so scared to speak out, because it's like, no one's gonna believe me.
Imagine trying to go outside for some fresh air and someone just runs up and all you hear is John Cena and you just get slammed on the concrete for just trying to go outside. It's pretty messed up that they were messing with the kids too. Like, you can't pin a kid down in any circumstance. If the kid's doing something wrong, then you tell them. You don't slam them into the floor and say, John Cena, bro, chill out. Like, these staff are so irresponsible, bro. How did they even get this job? Like, did Dr. Phil just recruit anyone? They're just all like, oh, yeah, you worked at the prison? Oh, you take care of prison guards? All right, take care of these kids, bro. Oh, and get people with mental problems, bro. Because who slams a kid down? Like, who? Tell me, because I've never met anyone on this planet who would be willing to do that. And, like, on top of that, they're adults. They're staff. And they make up their own rules when they get mad at a kid, bro. Like, if you really can't control your anger, you need anger management. You don't just be like, oh, wow, you did this? Okay, I'm mad at the time being, so go do this, this, and this. Bro, I swear, these staff act like kids. They probably should be in there with them.
Always threatened me as like, oh, I'm sending you away, but she never did it. This was the first time she really did it. Like, I never thought my mom would do this. So what parents need to understand is if your child is acting out because of trauma, like sexual abuse, or maybe like the kid's parents got divorced, or just anything like that, you don't send your kid to a program like this. You need to send your kid to a program where they're not being punished, and it's not about, everything's not about you're in trouble, and it's just really fucked up. You're just using children to keep your ranch going.
Bro, this is so true. Like, imagine having trauma and your mom just says, oh, you don't want to clean the dishes? Time to send you to the ranch. Yeah, kids were also getting traumatized there too, and they did nothing about it. They just said, oh, just don't talk about it. A staff member got killed, and another one died 2 years later. So people are dying here, and Dr. Phil hasn't talked about it. Which, Dr. Phil, if this is your fault, bro, you gotta mention it. And I don't understand the thought process of some parents. If your kid is having problems and they can't express themselves emotionally like they should, you don't send them to a jail yard, bro. That makes no sense. Get a therapist, have them check you out. They'll help, bro. That's what therapy is for. It helps everything, bro. But you're gonna send your kid to the ranch, and then on top of that, put them on public television where everything stays up forever because it's the internet. Like, if I go on public television for something I don't want up, like the Seth situation, bro, it's there for life. And on top of that, I don't know why you'd go on Dr. Phil. Like, half of these situations you could have fixed at home so easily by talking to each other, but you guys decided to take it on public television with an old dude with a bald head who just exposed your entire family problems, exposed everything about you, just so he can say, oh, let me send your kid to the ranch, where they probably don't need to go. Especially when it's mostly the parents' faults for not talking to the kid or raising them right, because you're a product of your environment. If you raise your kid like they don't matter and you raise them like a nuisance, they're gonna retaliate. It's just life. I don't understand some of these parents, bro. You guys are on like 2 brain cells. And if the situation can't be solved at home, go to a therapist. You don't need to go on Dr. Phil instantly. There's so many other ways you can solve this problem.
There was already lawsuits before I went there. There's now many more after, but there was one as far back as 2012. Now this place has been going since the 90s, I think. So I could just imagine like how much bad stuff has happened there. These are documented things that have happened, and just the abuse, the malnourishing, physical abuse, mental abuse, all that, and this place is still up and running. It just doesn't make sense.
The 90s, bro, there has to be so much stuff going down there. Because the 90s wasn't advanced. You couldn't report stuff like you could today or in 2012. There has to be so much more stuff that went down there in the 90s that was probably 10 times worse. I bet you they could have gotten away with murder back in the 90s. Like, bro, Dr. Phil has to address this, bro. If he doesn't, then someone's going to get the authorities involved either way. And it's going to be way worse for him in the end. I've heard this before, but I don't know if it's true. But basically, I heard that they come and grab you out of your house, put you in a car, don't talk to you, put handcuffs on you, and take you to the ranch. So, like, you don't even get an option. They force you to go. It's what I heard. I don't know if it's true. But if it is, that's legit kidnapping, bro. Like, imagine being in your Xbox party, talking to your friends, and these 2 built people that look like they should be in the FBI walk in, take you, don't tell you where you're going, and then just take you to the ranch in this secluded desert. And I heard there's only one gas station, and it's a small town. So they easily could have gotten away with anything they wanted to there. But yeah, this is where I'm going to be ending the video. I will talk to you guys in the next one. And give me some topics to talk on. Join the Discord. Also, make sure if you leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you're new, subscribe. Join the channel. And I'll see you guys later.